of 6 will try to lead the people astray. They will make great promises to seduce the followers of the 4. But beware, the 6 is a demon that will bring only great darkness. When it arises, the demon will desolate the land, and only the false prophets will prosper. I think it's pretty obvious that...
It does not sound promising.
No, not in the least bit. So, there's also a Mongolian prophecy. This is from 1134 AD. Now, there's a lot of... This is fragmented. As you can see, there's a photograph of one of the I think it's parchment or something along those lines. That's damaged, so there's pieces missing, but you can still get a pretty good picture of it. Some of the highlights are it correctly identifies the invention of the internet and the World Wide Web. Now, the Mongolian 17-year calendar has animals associated with it, and they correctly line up with the actual dates when the internet was invented and whatnot. It refers to the 4th and the 6th languages. Now, I mean, obviously, 800 years ago, there wasn't, or 900 years ago, they didn't have a word protocol, so you have to realize that they're struggling, these seers were struggling with their limited language to describe modern technology. So it's a little long, I'm not going to be able to go over all of it, but for example, the beginning of it is in the year of the fox, which matches up to the year that, the year the internet was invented was the year of the fox. The army, DARPA presumably, of the great nation of the West, something maybe builds, don't know, relays across the world, and the great nation will become greater. And the merchants of the world will see the relays, and something profit, so the great nation will share the relays with all the merchants. Now, obviously, the DARPA eventually started sharing the internet with merchants. It goes on to talk about how corrupted men of the world will want to destroy the signals, that they realize they have to, that the evil men invent a 6th language for the signal relays. But they were ignored because the army and the merchants realized that the language was good. Let's see, it goes on. So this is the last. Sorry, what's that? And with great fear, the evil men will see that the people are gaining wisdom, so they will redouble their efforts to destroy blank. The evil men will spread a great lie across something web. Something 4th language is simple and only for the stupid. And the army and the merchants will be fooled by the evil men and will begin to speak the 6th language. The evil men will rejoice for their domination of the world, and the destruction of something is nigh. And we don't know what that something is. It could be the internet, it could be the world. I think we can agree that it's something we shouldn't find out. So we have the Portuguese prophecy, and this is a little complicated because we can't actually show it to you. Now, we're risking our lives to bring this to you. I mean, we obviously were in disguise, but there's still a lot of risk associated with it. But there's some things that are worse than death. The Portuguese prophecy, the text of it is in the possession of the Church of Practicology, which is that cult that was started by Stan Lee.
Whoa. I don't want, you don't want to offend them. It's the alien king that lives inside Stanley's head.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But anyway, we can't, they have a copyright on it. We can't show it. It's very unfortunate, but we have seen it, and we've been able to perform a lot of analysis of it, provide some clues about decoding the RFCs of IPv6, and most importantly, it reveals how cabal members that are controlling IPv6 can be identified. So we also want to talk a little about TimeCube, because TimeCube, while it's not directly related to IPv6, there is a lot of truth that Gene Ray has put on his website. So, for example, if you're not familiar with this is from their website this morning. TimeCube math is absolute proof you're retarded. You can't comprehend fact that cube 4 simultaneous 24-hour days. It goes on. Timecube.com. So, also, some more excerpts. Full rotated square will create 16 corners, 96 hours, 4 simultaneous 24-hour day circles within the single imaginary cube Earth rotation. This is the important part. 4 rotations in a 24-hour day are good. Obviously, IPv4. 6 rotations is educated, stupid, evil. IPv6. 1 corner day equals evil. 4 corners equals 4 corner days. Evil one day, God claims corrupts all academia. 96-hour cubic day debunks one day as witchcraft. Clearly, Gene Ray is a modern day seer. I mean,
math
it's just
does not lie.
No, yeah, exactly. Math does not lie.
So we did analysis of 6 as well. Friend 6 was a Nazi official in charge of directing police operations in Germany if they successfully invaded the United Kingdom. Coffins are buried 6 feet underground. Coincidence? Maybe. MI6, also referred to by the nickname 6, the secret intelligence gathering organization. 6 in Roman numerals is VI, so we think there may be some anti-Emacs connections as well to this. We also did some further studies. Area 51, 5 plus 1 equals 6. The Mayan prophecies again. The world's supposed to end on 12/21. 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, 6. 666.
Obviously.
360, yeah. And again, another number in nature. Divided by 6 equals 60. Divided by 6 equals 10. Divided by 2 equals 5.
That makes no sense.
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
6 plus 6, 12 signs of the Satanic Zodiac. The prisoner was number 6. Are you ready to pick up again?
I think I can.
Okay.
Okay, as a perfect number, 6 is related to the mezzanine prime 3, since 2 times 2 squared minus 1 equals 6. The next perfect number is 28.
It speaks for itself. This is you again.
Okay, why are all public versions of IP composite numbers? Obviously, not a hatred of even numbers, since there wasn't, a 2 wasn't used either. But we have IPv4 to IPv6. What's wrong with prime numbers?
I have a theory that because prime numbers are used for encryption, they think that it's secure or something. I don't know. That's just a theory.
Makes you think.
So we mentioned RFC numerological analysis. Now there's 5 primary RFCs associated with IP version 6. There's a lot of peripheral ones, but these are the core 5. So if you take the numbers of those RFCs and then look at the differences between the numbers while they're incremented, you come up with 4. Now clearly 2635 is a little bit of an anomaly, and we had to think about this one for a long time, but if you drop the 2 off and reorder them, it makes a lot more sense. So we're able to extrapolate this out into an equation. It was a little complicated, and from that equation we were able to obtain the whole sequence. Now this is just what we can fit on the screen. There's obviously, it'll go on to, ad infinitum. Once you take these numbers and put them into, or extract the characters from RFC 1883, the original IPv6 specification, you come up with the text. When you parse it out a bit, some plans become clear. We will control all, and then a series of what are obviously longitude and latitude coordinates, and a year. We map these out to several number of cities. Now the weird one is the 4th one, because the 2002, there's just 6 numbers, 7 numbers, and we're not exactly sure why there's 7 numbers instead of longitude and latitude coordinates. There's some fringe people, well, it's your idea, Professor.
I'm a French person, yeah.
Yeah, he thinks that it's Stargate coordinates. I think that's crazy, but we do have some evidence in a minute here.
So what are these meetings? We gathered information from using mostly disposable teaching assistants. Prague, 1991, initial meeting to push IPv6, then 10 years old. Determined fear must be used. What better place than Prague? I believe they're going to reopen the torture castles. In fact, we may still have some students there. We should go check. London, 1996, second meeting to push IPv6, then 15 years old. Capital is needed to acquire resources and create an artificial scarcity. Misinformation campaign begins, the Queen joins the cabal. Boston, 1999, discussion on learning from the Millennium Bug propaganda.
Just lies, nothing but lies.
What happened? Nothing. Fear tactics of people losing access to pets.com was short-lived. Secret meetings, unknown location, 2002. Key players of the cabal meet. Pictures smuggled out of location at great cost. Communications with grad student lost before location disclosed. Possible they just got drunk with friendly locals who were also great hosts. If anyone knows this location, please contact us.
It's critical.
Outside Vienna, 2004, emergency meeting. Researchers and unknown government agencies suspect foul play. Evidence of a resistance is discussed. Our lives are put in danger for the first time. Live blogging of subjects like friends, bowel movements are determined to... What?
Sorry. We're moving on. Miami? You want to talk about Miami?
Okay. I think I can. Progress meeting in Miami, 2010. Police actively providing security for the cabal. Our last gullible TA is discovered, and we really have no idea what happened to him. The actors. Who is behind this? You know, we discussed the cabal, but it may be, you know, the nanobots. XKCT tried to warn us. Devices needed to address and communicate with a nanobot cloud consisting of more than 4 billion bots. Consumption of all matter, Earth matter, is now imminent if IPv6 goes ahead. They may be controlling the minds of the other players, including the cabal. If you go to the XKCD website, look at the cartoon, go to the forum.
All right, so this is not something that most people in the IPv4, or excuse me, the IP for Truth community believe. This is the professor's very impressionable. Every time he goes to XKCD, he just thinks it's the truth. This is really just garbage. So, what do we know about the cabal? We've been able to gather a fair amount of intelligence from analyzing the prophecies, from the agents that we've snuck into their secret meetings. We know they wear funny hats. They're evil. They were originally composed as a pentaveret.
The Vatican, the Queen, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, and Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, before he went tits up. So, who's in the cabal? We know that Vint Cerf is. This is a very funny hat that he's wearing here.
He looks ridiculous.
He invented most of the internet. It sounds like a made-up name. It's, yeah, Vint Cerf. I mean, you might as well go by something like Ulysses Q. Albuquerque. I mean, it makes no sense. Where was he really born, though? We have tried to find his birth certificate. He will not tell us. He won't give it to us. It makes us very suspicious. Supposedly he was born in the United States, but with a name like that, I don't know. It's a mystery. Tim Berners-Lee, also wearing a funny hat and a weird robe. He invented the World Wide Web. He was made Knight Commander of the British Empire. There's a lot of suspicion at the time of the IP for Truth community that this was done to buy his silence, to make him happy. That perhaps he was disgruntled with the cabal. Since then, he's fled from England and now lives in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We have some evidence of the theory that we're going to be revealing in a little bit. Sub-Commander Marcos, also known as Mark Mueller. He was adopted in Brazil. His biological parents are unknown. We know he's of German ancestry, and there's some evidence that he may be a clone. And finally, the Supreme Commander of the Cabal. We don't know his name. He wears no hat, but he has larger lace cuffs, which presumably is significant of his rank. He's probably a vampire based on how he looks. And also, we think he might be Strom Thurmond's secret twin brother. So we've intercepted some communiques, as I said. This is from something I gathered from a honeypot operation down in Miami. This is originally an email from Sub-Commander Marcos to Queen Elizabeth. It says, Elizabeth, Berners-Lee is getting restless, this is from 2001, and unhappy with our strategy. He hasn't threatened to leave yet, but I'm afraid that he will. That will be next. He can be a valuable asset, so I'd rather not kill him. Perhaps if you give him some kind of honor, he'll at least keep his mouth shut. And then she replies, done. I'll make him a KBE. He'll love people calling him Sir Tim. Elizabeth Regina. Yeah, they have a confidentiality note at the bottom too. It's kind of weird. So also, there's a lot of ties between the cabal and the information security industry because, you know, basically they're afraid that we're going to find out the truth, like the professor and I did. So they try to keep people in line. This is a email that was discovered, one of many emails discovered from the cabal to the head of a large research organization in the information security industry. From the Supreme Commander says, Nick, you've been doing a great job in suppressing IPv6 research. You'll be richly rewarded. I'll be sending you some more agents soon. And the guy replies, thank you, sir. There are some troublemakers that may need to be addressed. We'll dispose of the bodies as normal. We're hoping this isn't us, but it's one of the many reasons why we're protecting our identities today. So, what else has the cabal done? One thing that we know for sure, because of interrogations of a captured agent, they killed Paul McCartney. This was leaked out by the Beatles, and they're covered to Abbey Road. I think everyone knows that. Paul's not wearing shoes there to show he was killed. We know that they killed him, but we're not sure why. One thing that has been tossed around